All right, what's up, everyone? Trevor here with Tag Performance and Nutrition, and we are on take two. I just recorded this video a little bit ago. Went to review back, and the audio wasn't working throughout the whole thing. So we are back. Gonna do it right this time, hopefully. Anyway, again, that's the life of not having a high quality production studio. It's just me. Sometimes you suck in technologies. You don't do it right, but that's what we got. But today, I want to talk about something I didn't even have any idea was coming out or just showed up. I just saw it on social media. I don't watch the news. I'm sure it's on the news too. But the news is a waste of time. It's all negative, so I don't watch the news. That's a whole nother story. But it is the new food pyramid, or as I'm going to call it, the food triangle, because it is not a pyramid. Pyramids are 3D, right? If you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe a pyramid is a 3D object, not a 2D triangle. And basically, they just flipped it upside down, like they talked about a few years ago in South Park when they had RFK on there, and they just flipped the food pyramid upside down. That's basically all they did with this. I mean, as far as the shape, but they flipped that triangle upside down. So the main gripe I have is that it is not a pyramid; it is a triangle. But let's get into it. So I'll pull it up here, and we'll kind of talk through it. It's a nice little honestly, it's a decent graphic there. As you can see, it shows actual pictures of the main point of the whole thing, and I actually downloaded the PDF. It's like 9 pages, so it's pretty easy to get through. It's not a ton of words, a lot of pictures, so it's a pretty simple read, which is nice. But again, it is just focusing on eating real food. And if you've followed me, you have heard this message every time I post a nutrition video or content. Eat real food. Your whole nutrient dense real foods. Foods that come from earth and foods that come from animals. So you have, of course, here we got, in this thing has a nice graphic of proteins. It has proteins, dairies, and fats. Things you want to eat. Those are things that come from animals. Then you got on the other side, you got vegetables and fruits and whole grains. Those are things that come from earth. It's simple. It's basically, this is common sense, and it's about time that our government or whatever, FDA, whoever it is, starts promoting common sense and eating real food rather than these big food companies running everything and promoting crap that is not healthy food. It's not even real food. They just promote it as such. But diving into this more. Again, you got your proteins. You got pictures of steak and ground beef and cheese and chicken. I don't know if you want. That's probably the. I mean, if it's a chicken that's not fried, that's good. Then you got your dairy. You got your salmon there. You got eggs there. You got over that's Greek yogurt. You got tuna, shrimp. So all good real foods that come from animals. Then you got your vegetables, your peas, and your you probably don't want canned green beans, but that's a whole other topic. Because you never know what's in that can of green beans, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, you got your tomatoes, your fruits, you got your bananas and your grapes and your oranges and strawberries and blueberries and looks like maybe a pear. Then you get nuts and seeds. Avocados for your fats, olive oil. I'm guessing that little pitcher in the middle is little jar in the middle. And then you got your whole grains. Looks like sourdough bread. You got, I don't know what that stuff in the bowl is supposed to be, rice maybe. And then it looks like oats at the bottom. But yeah, again, quality, real food sources made from real food. Yes, these are all processed. Every food is processed, but that's not it's just the highly processed stuff. And it's good that we're finally putting out something promoting eating real food. Again, common sense, stuff that we all know, but stuff that we don't really follow for whatever reasons, because we're lazy. We're always in a rush. We think healthy food is more expensive. Whatever it may be, mainly it's just because we've been marketed all this crap that is promoted as fast, convenient, and good, and these highly palatable junk foods that we can't stop eating because they're chemically made to make us want to eat more. They don't have any nutrients in them. And talking more about this, the message is clear. It says literally in the first page after the picture of the document, if you download that PDF, it says "Eat real food." Yes, great message. I like it. That's what I've been saying for years. Is anyone listening to me? Probably not, because I'm just me. But again, it's a good message. Eat real food. And then we look at the foundation is built on whole foods. Again, foods that come from earth or foods that come from animals. Humans are omnivores, eat them. I'm sure the carnivores are freaking out because there are fruits and vegetables and grains on there. And then the vegans and vegetarians are freaking out because there's animals on there. But those are just the zealots, the cultists of their stupid diets. And those people aren't healthy anyway. They're promoting what works best for them. I'm not saying those diets can't work, but for the majority of people, they're probably not going to work. They're just not sustainable. So that's a whole other thing. Eat real foods, and even in those, vegetarians are eating real food. I guess again, there's all the promoted like the fake meats and all that crap. But if you're a real vegetarian, you're eating your vegetables. That's what you're eating. You're eating real plants. If you're a carnivore, you're eating real meat and animal products. Whatever carnivores eat, I think they can eat eggs and stuff too. Whatever, but they're missing out on all the nutrients from vegetables and fruits and deliciousness from fruits and vegetables and carbs. So that's their thing. They do what they want. Again, everything's a choice. You choose what you eat. But again, still in those lanes, they're still eating real foods if they're following the actual diets. But again, even vegans and vegetarians, you get those fake meats. It's not real food. You get the fake supplements and all these fake extra protein, whatever. Extra fiber, whatever. It's crap. That's just what it is. But promoting those minimally processed foods, the fruits, the vegetables, quality proteins, good fats, and the whole grains, the foods that come from earth and animals, again. And they actually promote even more protein. If you actually read through it, the document gives guidelines on how much to eat. Again, guidelines are general. It's going to depend on your height, your weight, your physical ability or physical fitness levels, your gender, your experience, your activity level. All these different factors play a role in how much you actually need to eat. But it gives some general guidelines, and it upped the protein, which is good. I still don't know why they do it in kilograms. Just doesn't make sense. We're America again. We don't use kilogram. We don't use a metric system. So, but that's a whole other thing. And it talks about 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram. Again, and that's rough. I think I did the math. I think it's like 0.5 something to 0.7 something grams per pound, which I always say a general rule of thumb, 1 gram per pound of body weight if you're lean. If you're fat and overweight, if you're trying to lose weight, goal weight. So if you're 200 pounds, you want to be 150 pounds, 150 grams. I mean, it's simple, especially if you're active. More protein is probably not going to harm you, and it's not going to turn as fat as easy as overeating fat will. So that's that. But it's good that they're promoting more protein and prioritizing protein at every meal. It gives different examples as well. It talks about full fat dairy, which is good. I mean, some people, obviously, if you're lactose intolerant, dairy is, but again, majority of people, dairy is fine. Especially like it even talks about like the good healthy bacteria that you can get from, especially like fermented in Greek yogurt and stuff like that, and the other fermented foods to help your gut microbiome. Eat fruits and vegetables. It talks about eating those throughout the day, like real fruits and vegetables. Gives you suggested it says 3 servings of vegetables, 2 servings of fruit per day. Solid, nothing wrong with that. And then it actually talks about healthy fats, and we've got every health trend, diet trend, nutrition trend over the years comes and goes. You see, like especially the low fat trend. And I'm not saying you have to eat a ton of fats, but you should be eating quality fats. And this says incorporate healthy fats. Again, you can get fats from meats, eggs, seafood, nuts, seeds, the full fat dairy, the olives, avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil. good oils rather than the junk that most people, the vegetable oils and the hydrogenated oils and all that garbage that you get from most of the junk food you eat or going to fast food, or even most restaurants cook with that crap. There's more high quality fats, and even talks about saturated fats and how it shouldn't exceed about 10% of your total daily calories. But not saturated fat is not terrible. Again, especially because saturated fats are coming from the animals, whereas your polyunsaturated, those types of fats are going to come from your plants, your olive oils and your nuts and seeds and that type of stuff. So you want both of those. And it talks about whole grains, fiber. You need fiber. If you're not pooping, you probably need some fiber. And pooping is good. You want to poop. So eat your fiber. And that's where you get a lot of that from your vegetables and your fruits, but a lot of that from whole grains as well, rather than the cereals and the crappy breads and all the junk that the cookies and the candies and the these poor carb sources. And of course, you can make your own. Like, learning to cook is great too. You can use whole grains. You can use real fruits and vegetables to make your own cookies, to make your own cakes, to make your own pies, to bake and cook and make your own meals. That is awesome. That's what I've learned to do. I love that stuff. I love trying to make my own recipes because I got a sweet tooth. I like sweets, but I don't like the junk. I don't like feeling like crap. So I like to make my own pumpkin pies or pumpkin bars. I got pumpkin bars in the freezer. They are awesome. With real food ingredients rather than crap that you find if you read the package and you're like, what the heck is that on the ingredient label? And then they talk about limiting, of course, highly processed added sugars and refined carbs. Again, common sense. Highly processed junk, you don't need to eat that stuff. So, again, if it's just simple and stuff we already all know. We just choose not to follow it for whatever reasons. And the main thing is eat the whole nutrients, real food. I like it how they promote real. It's the slogan is real food. That's good. That's what we should be eating. That's what I've been saying for years now. And I don't know, maybe it takes the government, but most people probably just get pissed off because it's promoted by the government and they hate the government. Anyway, this is not to be political. Again, I don't follow politics. I'm not a I think most politicians are bad people anyway, no matter who they are, what side of the aisle they on. Democrats and Republicans are the main issues with this country, but that's a whole other thing. But this is good. I think this is solid. It's common sense. It's pretty simple. And they even talk about limiting alcohol. I don't think you should drink alcohol. I used to drink alcohol all the time. I was terribly unhealthy. And did not know there's no benefits to alcohol. That's what I guess I'm saying. It's poison as a drug. It's probably one of the worst drugs you can take. But again, then it talks about water and sodium and electrolytes are essential for hydration because and again, I don't think you need those stupid electrolyte packets for the most part. That's just a money grab. Drink your water, sprinkle in some sea salt. You'll be good there. Salt your foods. That's one of the things I see when people switch from crappy fast food to eating whole nutrients, real food. Is their sodium level goes down too much because you go to McDonald's or Burger King, and those burgers or food, whatever you get from there, is just loaded with salt. So they're going from super high to not eating enough. So you want to make sure you getting enough, and it gives recommendations there. So stuff like that is solid. And then it talks about special populations, babies to pregnant women to young kids to adults, stuff like that. Chronic diseases. It does have a section on vegans and vegetarians. So, carnivores are probably going to be pissed they're not in there at all. I just saw that. I just saw the vegetarian vegan one. But kind of like I said. And then, it's talking about eating for real food for them. And then, you can supplement with stuff you're missing. But again, even supplements, a lot of the supplements are crap. So you got to be wary of that as well. But overall, I think it's solid. And again, it's just common sense. It's what most good coaches like myself or good coaches, trainers, nutritionists, dietitians, anyone who actually promotes health actually promotes. They're not promoting the quote unquote healthy foods that all these big marketing food drugs supplement companies are promoting, the fake the protein bars and the protein cereals and the protein popcorns and the fiber rich cereals and added fiber breads and protein breads and what else is there, protein cookies and protein cakes and all this other crap that is not health. It's not even real food. It's just ultra processed food with a slap on a fancy label that says healthy. And most of it, like especially the high protein stuff, it's got 8 grams of protein. That's not high protein. You can get 8 grams of protein by eating like an ounce of chicken or whatever. An egg has 6 grams of protein. That's not high protein. Peanut butter, high protein. No, peanut butter is not a high protein source. It's a good fat if it's a real peanut butter, but it's not a good protein source. So again, these misleading labels that try to get your attention and market to sell you to make you think you have a problem and they got the solution. And that's just our society in general, not just nutrition. But again, don't look to these fake foods. Don't look to the junk food. If you just start eating real food, the whole nutrient-dense foods from Earth, foods from animals, you're going to be better off than 90% of the people out there, especially in America. So if you just start there, focus on the food quality before anything else. That's usually where I start with people when I'm working them, is get good quality food in. And then a lot of the other little details, the amount you need, the meal timing, the supplements you need, that stuff falls into place because you're getting a lot of this stuff from just eating whole nutrient real foods, swapping out that pop for a glass of water, swapping out that bag of Cheetos for an apple or an orange, adding more protein to each meal from real sources, things like that. Getting rid of that protein bar, adding a 6 ounces of ground beef, something like that. Simple things like that where you're getting the whole nutrient-dense real foods from real food rather than real fake food. And again, common sense. I beaten that horse to death. It's common sense, and that's good. It's simple. It's not easy because we are so inundated with all the crap out there. Everywhere you drive, there's McDonald's or a Burger King or a Chipotle or all this other crap food, fast food, or you go to the grocery store and aisles full of chips and candy and pop and all the other crap. I'm no different. I used to eat that way all the time too. But now we're aware of it. Everyone's aware of it. Everyone knows what you should be eating. I mean, anyone with a brain anyway. We just, again, it's about choosing. And yes, there's more to it than that. Sometimes we have the bad relationships, the traumas, the past history, the emotional effect of eating too. But even if we just make these simple swaps and start focusing on quality food, a lot of the other stuff is going to take care of itself. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to lose fat. You're going to build muscle if you're working out as well. You're going to move better. You're going to sleep better. All this stuff is intertwined and interconnected. And then life is going to be better. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. All the good stuff. And you're going to be able to live the life that you ultimately want to live. Again, the message that I've been promoting for years. It's good to see that it finally has come out. Again, biggest gripe is it's not a pyramid. It's a triangle. So, yeah, just check it out if you want to look it up. Download the PDF. Again, it's only like 9 pages. Simple, easy to read. Pictures that go with it. It's eatrealfood.org. Kind of a decent little website too. With the graphic, and it kind of goes into the grains and the fruits and the vegetables, and then it gives adjusted servings. But again, that's going to be totally different, dependent, individualized for each person. But the main thing is that they're promoting actually eating whole, nutrient-dense, real food. Again, what TAG is promoting since we've been in business. So that's what I have for today, guys. Hopefully this helped. Maybe it made you angry. You just think it's all political, but again, you can't help those people. Make your choices. And again, choose to eat real food. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to move better. You're going to be athletic for life. That's what we have for you today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this one recorded, unlike the first one.